Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting ELA lesson. Today we're going to continue our series on sentence structure or sentence types. Yesterday we talked about simple and compound sentences. Today for day 2 we're going to talk about complex and compound complex sentence structures or sentence types. So let's jump right into it. First thing I want to review is yesterday we talked about sentences are kind of like different types of homes. You can start here with a basic apartment. Right? Your very first house. It's very, very small, not very complex, usually a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, or 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and you share the building with other people. So it's a very small, very basic type of house. Then, as you get older and you get a little bit more money, you move into a 1-story home. So you have your own lot, you have a lot more rooms, most likely, a lot more bathrooms. It's just a bigger house. So that's going to be the next type of sentence. Another thing you could do as you get a little bit older and you get even more money, you move into the 2-story house. So it's bigger, it's got a second story, you're getting more and more complex with more rooms and more spaces. So that's the same when we move up in sentence types. Last but not least, say you get just a lot of money and you're just a millionaire, you could buy yourself a mansion. And this is the most complex type of home with many, many different rooms and bathrooms and fun spaces. So that's kind of like sentence structures. You start out small and simple, and you grow to more complex types of sentences. We also talked about what does every sentence need to have? Well, every sentence needs to have a subject and a predicate to be considered a sentence. And this is pretty much the definition of our simple sentence. A simple sentence has one subject and one predicate. Mary, the person, place, or thing what's the sentence about, and then the predicate plays tennis. So what is that simple subject doing? Mary plays tennis. One subject, one predicate. That makes it a simple sentence. Next, we learned about compound sentences. So we have 2 simple sentences joined together with a conjunction. Tom swims. What's the sentence about? Tom. What's he doing? Swimming. Joined together with a conjunction and then another sentence. Mary plays tennis. Subject, predicate. So, simple sentence is one subject, one predicate. A compound sentence is 2 simple sentences joined together with a conjunction. Now, these are the 4 types. Today we're going to go ahead and jump into the last 2, complex and compound complex. So let's get started. A complex sentence is more complex, obviously, since that's the title. So let's look at what this is. A complex sentence has at least 2 parts. One that can stand alone, and another one that cannot. The part that cannot stand alone is linked to the rest of the sentence by a subordinating conjunction. So this is essentially a simple sentence joined together with a dependent sentence, a sentence that can't stand by itself, but that is in some way depending on the other part of the sentence. Let me show you what this looks like. During summer vacation, we went to San Juan. This is a great example of a complex sentence. We have the full and complete simple sentence right here. We is our subject. Went is our predicate. So we went. That's your simple sentence. But what about this first part? During summer vacation, we have our subject, summer vacation, but we have no predicate. So this is not a complete simple sentence. This is what's called a dependent sentence. It depends on the second part of the sentence. So during summer vacation, we went to San Juan. This is a complex sentence because it has one part that's a simple sentence that can stand alone, and the second part depends on the other part of the sentence. So let me break it down for you in this way. This first part, during summer vacation, is called a dependent clause. This is the part that cannot stand alone. But the second part, we went to San Juan, this is the independent clause because it can stand independently because it has your subject and your predicate. So, complex sentence. One part is dependent, the other part is independent. So here's your simple equation. A dependent clause plus a subject and a predicate, which would be a simple sentence. This is what makes a complex sentence. Here's another example. Bob is popular, even though he is ugly. So although this is a simple sentence because it has a subject and a predicate, the subordinating conjunction, even though, makes this a dependent clause because it can't stand by itself. Bob is popular, even though he is ugly. So, just like I said, this part, because of the even though Bob is ugly, that cannot stand by itself as a complete sentence. So it depends on the second part of the sentence, he is popular. So we have one independent clause and one dependent clause, making it a complex sentence. Here are a couple more examples. Because my coffee was too cold, I heated it in the microwave. Although he was wealthy, he was still unhappy. Whenever prices go up, customers buy less products. Wherever you go, you can always find beauty. Although it was very long, the movie was still enjoyable. So look at how these sentences, the first part depends on the second part, and it cannot stand alone. Look at this last sentence. Although it was very cold, or very long, that cannot stand by itself. It depends on the fact that the movie was still enjoyable. So these are examples of complex sentences. So please take a break. Let's take some notes. Tell me, what was a complex sentence? What was the equation for a complex sentence? And then I'd like you to create 10 examples of your own complex sentences. Okay, welcome back to part 2 of our lesson today. We just learned what a complex sentence is. It's a sentence that has a dependent clause that can't stand by itself with an independent clause that can stand by itself. Now, let's jump into the final sentence type. This is like the mansion. So remember at the beginning we started with a one-bedroom apartment, and now we're all the way up to a mansion house. Very complex, lots and lots of rooms. Let's get into this sentence structure. So a compound complex sentence is one that this is the type of sentence that has more than one, that's the key, more than one part that can stand alone. So we're joining many simple sentences together. They can all stand alone, but we're joining them together with that. But one cannot. So sometimes one cannot. So most of the time it's many simple sentences joined together, but sometimes one part of the sentence cannot stand alone. Conjunctions link all these different parts of sentences together. So it's like many, many sentences joined together. So let's look at what this might look like. Since we wanted to have fun, my boyfriend and I went to San Juan yesterday, and we danced all night. So this is a great example of a compound complex sentence because there are many sentences within one sentence. So many simple sentences joined together. Let's break it down a little further. Look at this first part. This first part is a dependent clause. It depends on the rest of the sentences. Since we wanted to have fun, I could not put a period here and call that a sentence because it does not stand alone because of the subordinating conjunction. But what about the second part of the sentence? My boyfriend and I went to San Juan. Now this has a subject, my boyfriend and I, and a predicate, we went to San Juan, so that is a simple sentence. What about the last part? We danced all night. We have a subject, we, and we have a predicate, danced all night. So this would also be a simple sentence. So what do we have here? A dependent sentence, an independent sentence, and another independent sentence. So we have 3 types of sentences joined together with conjunctions, and this would be a compound complex sentence. Here's an equation for a type of compound complex sentence. You could have 3 independent clauses, 3 simple sentences that are joined together with conjunctions. So this is one of the 2 formulas you could have for a compound complex sentence. Look at this example. Mike is popular. That's a full and complete sentence. He is good looking. That's a complete sentence. He is not very happy. That's a complete sentence. But joined together with the conjunction because and but, it sounds like this. Mike is popular because he is good looking, but he is not very happy. So we have an excellent compound complex sentence, 3 simple sentences joined together with 2 conjunctions. But what about this? What if I use a dependent clause, one that cannot stand by itself, an independent clause, and another independent clause, and join them together with 2 conjunctions? This would be the second formula for a compound complex sentence. So that might look like this. Although Mike is popular, he is good looking, but he is not very happy. So here we have a dependent clause that cannot stand by itself, an independent clause that can stand by itself, a conjunction that joins the next independent clause that can stand by itself. So 2 independent clauses, a dependent clause, and a conjunction joining the two independent clauses. This would be Formula 2 for a compound complex sentence. Before you create your own, I want you to look at these examples. The first one says, Aaron loves her brother, and he loves her too, because she pays his bills. So this would be 3 independent clauses here. Number 2, the dog ran off when I chased him, but I didn't care, because it wasn't really my dog. Again, 3 independent clauses joined together with a conjunction. Last example, though my mother says it doesn't matter, I am tall, and she is short. So this example has a dependent clause at the beginning and 2 independent clauses joined together with a conjunction. So this is great examples of a compound complex sentence. So let's take a little break. Give me a definition. Explain in this box what is a compound complex sentence. What were the 2 formulas that you just learned? Then I want you to create 10 examples in your examples box of your own compound complex sentence.